So here we are at Supercell 2024. I saw this guy driving around in this truck last year at 2023 Supercell, and it was the most amazing roadster that I had seen. And then this year, at some point during the year, you called me. We were talking about building another Bronco. I still didn't know you had the truck. It was the same person. Then you're at Supercell driving around. I went, oh, wait a minute. I have a picture of you from last year. So tell me, what year is your roadster?
It's a 1966, built in September of 65.
Probably, I'm going to guess, in the first 1,000 units built.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm not even really sure, but yeah, mid-September. And they started in August, of course. And so on second month of running.
What's special about the Roadster? Like, what are the things that make it an early production Bronco?
It happens to be an eyebrow grill Bronco, and they say they're the Bud Body, B-U-D-D. A unique tailgate to the early versions. It has a silver interior, a dash pad that's unreproduced, airbox vent that's different. It's all metal.
Does your airbox have like the metal grate on top of it too? I know the very first one did.
But it may have had it at once, but I don't have that.
And the Bud Company made early Broncos for Ford while they were getting their production line ready and their dies ready. They made, we still don't know how many, a few people like Jimmy Golden and Todd Zerker are trying to put together what the serial numbers were and when, so you can validate whether it's a Bud body or not. So that's the waterfall tailgate, right? Yeah. Right. I think you said some guys were actually trying to remake those.
Yes, taking a new tailgate and cutting out that line and reinserting it in order to make a reproduction.
It's the only way to get one, right?
It is, unless you can get really, really lucky and find one that's worth reworking.
What color is this truck? It's an amazing color.
It's a Caribbean turquoise, original Ford color. I think it's amazing too.
And you don't have a roll cage in it, so I guess roll cage would have been an option.
I don't even know if they were an option. It has a roll bar in it that someone had made, and it was in it when it was purchased. Since the holes were already there, I went in and had it powder coated and put back in, but it's a little tiny thing, and you could see joints where they welded it together. It's very imperfect, but I chose to use it to get the Bimini talk back on it.
Oh, it's better than nothing, probably.
That's right.
Back in the day.
That's for sure.
You're a brave man letting me drive this.
No power steering, like you said, three on the tree, single cylinder, master cylinder. It's pretty minimal, but it works and drives. It just drives like a 1966 Bronco.
One of my favorite touches of the truck are the wheels. It's got these chrome-plated wheels with these like baby moon hubcaps. Are those Ford hubcaps? Or?
No, it's just a throwback.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of do a throwback. I actually looked for military tires on it because in 66, you couldn't really find reproduction tires. People would use militaries or they'd use airplane tires and throw chains on them. And that was your aftermarket tires. I couldn't find a 916 military. I found the 750s. They were just too small. So that's why I stayed with the Super Swampers that are on it.
So does it have a lift kit?
It does. It's got the 3-inch Wild Horses lift and then a 1-inch body lift on it.
This thing drives so nice. The steering is super tight. There's no rattling or play. The brakes actually are fantastic. The suspension rides nice. This feels like what I would think a brand new truck would ride like in 1966.
I think you're right. I think that's don't expect it to ride like a brand new Bronco, like your new Bronco. Just expect what it was then, and it drives just as good as it did early on. Because
it's just that everything's so tight. There's no play in anything. It feels like it came right off the showroom floor. So I'm trying to shift this thing, and it's a little tricky. What is the key to shifting this thing?
It takes a little bit of practice, and it probably could use some more adjusting. But as you're shifting it, if you'll let it relax in neutral before going to the next gear, it does just fine. But if you try to rush it, it doesn't go as well. But it likes to relax in neutral and then pull into the next gear.
Maybe I'll have it down by the time we're done driving to the top of the mountain and back.
Hopefully. At least you're going downhill.
Does it make it easier?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, thanks again for letting me drive the truck. It's absolutely a pleasure to drive. And now you ruined me because now I got to go find a roadster.
Good.
Finish my 69, finish the 79 while I'm looking for a roadster. Yeah, it was amazing driving it all the way up to the Foothills Parkway that overlooks the whole valley where Supercell's held.
Yeah, Townsend, city of Townsend, and you can see Wears Valley down through there. It was gorgeous.
Thanks again. We'll look forward to seeing your Brook Blue truck when it gets done.
That's right. Good. Can't wait.
We're here at Supercell in full-size land. We got all the Broncos, everything's full-size here. The trucks, which I can't even get my arm on. Spencer, you're full-size compared to me. So we got two of his trucks here. We've got his Gen 2 that's Cummins powered. We got one of Spencer's other trucks. This is probably one of my favorites. This is fully loaded with all this Desolate Motorsports parts in it. What's under the hood here with the engine and the Desolate suspension?
The engine is a Blueprint 408 stroker. The Desolate kit is their stage 3 kit and has everything included in it. Cut and turned beams for the TTB, the hoops and the King coilovers. The rear has the D reliefs, sway bar, King triple bypasses, and also their long arms here in the front. I've got their skid plate for their transfer case, and I've got their family cage.
Let's go check out the top and the back. This Desolate Motorsports roll cage is amazing.
Yeah, they did a really good job. The welds are really, really good. The top is a soft topper, and I like it a lot because it just rolls up. I'd like to go back to hard top if I could get sliding glass. So if you're watching this, you have sliding glass, hit me up. This isn't Desolate, but we swapped the rear end to a 9-inch. The transmission has been swapped from an automatic to a manual. Disc brake conversion on the 9-inch. Got the Desolate Motorsports power steering kit, their box and their pump in the front.
All of Spencer's trucks are manual transmission trucks.
Yep, yep, all of them. Yep.
I told him I knew how to drive a manual, so he's gonna let me drive the manual. I need a ladder. Oh my God, that's a stiff clutch, dude.
Yeah, they'll make a man out of you.
Watch out, people in the lawn chairs. Do you see that black one right here?
I love that one.
Man, this is incredible. That clutch is so stiff, but
It is.
So
it's a ZF5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the ZF5 came out of an F350.
So how big a lift kit is on this truck?
That I don't know. I think it's like at least 8.
At least 8. And you'll drive this anywhere, right?
Yeah, I've been daily driving this thing for probably about a year, I guess.
Didn't you say you just made a really long trip in this?
Yep, I drove it. It was about 8 hours each way, so I had about 16 hours on it over the course of a weekend. It does good. It got 23 miles to the gallon, which is better than my wife's 6th gen.
Yeah.
But diesel costs more than gas, so it really doesn't help you that much there.
So we're driving through the middle of full-size Bronco land, and I just saw Buttercup. I tried not to run over her. Let's see if I can do reverse. Whoa. Reverse is faster than first gear.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My leg's cramping. Man, this is a man's truck. You weren't kidding. Maybe in 5 years I'll be man enough to drive this. Oh. Don't tell John I stalled it.
All right.
Whatever you do. Let's just get out here. It's a good time to get out.
Okay.
Backing this thing up that hill's hard.
All right. I am a fan of the Godzilla.
Man, look at how well that thing fits in there.
Yeah, somebody did a lot of work and put a lot of money into that.
I didn't even notice that when it drove by.
Matco Motors. I don't know who you are, but you did a good job. It looks good.
I also like the throwback wheels, the vintage turbines. So we're looking at 2 super cool trucks here that Brandon brought. That one's had the license plate on it since it was new, and he said his dad bought it.
Yeah, the patina and like a period correct license plate like really ties it together. Of course, the paint would have been brand new, but when you see a license plate like that, it kind of like throws you back to like, oh man, there were like cars driving around, you know, and this is what they had on them.
Yeah, the plate's as old as the Bronco. Look at this one right here. This is the freestyle graphics. So what year is this?
Well, it could be a 78 or 79. It depends on, it's got custom badges, so I guess this would be a 79. Because
Yeah.
if it was a Ranger, it could be a 78 and still have square headlights.
Let me show you something really cool about this. He's got his Marty report in the window. It says it's 1978. But if you come and look at the back of it, did you see what he added? He's got a period correct Honda Trail, and if you look at the graphics, it actually matches the truck. Look what's under the hood on this.
Got the big old Coyote in there. That's
So-
a cool thing about these trucks is you can fit whatever you want in them. 12 valve Cummins, Coyote, Godzilla, 460.
You don't have to
Yeah.
retrofit anything, it just fits.
Yeah, it all fits. Just you pick it and put it in there.
So these 3 behind us right here, I think are really good examples of full-size Broncos. And
Yeah.
I love this first one, the blue one with the mags on it. That's just a beautiful truck right there.
Yeah, I think 78, 79 are the most beautiful truck that's ever been made. I don't think anything else can compare it. This one, it's beautiful. The paint on it is perfect. I like the 2-tone with the white and green. I'm a metallic flake fan, so I'm drawn to anything that has metallic flake and it looks really good in the green.
The interior is all green too.
Yeah, and like anything that's like super period, like I'm not a purist, but when you see something that's like super period, it just strikes me as like the cool factor. It's a trailer special, which is cool. They didn't do a ton of those. tow hooks and factory CB and push bar are all like original, so those are cool.
Wow, so this is an original push bar. It's funny how popular green was, because my truck's green on green on green on the inside. There's a lot of green. So this is one of my favorite trucks, and part of it is the color. What's really cool about this truck is that it's the same color top and body, which I really like, because I saw this truck in the morning at 7 a.m. coming to Supercell, going down the highway, and it just caught my eye. It goes all the way into the inside of the truck. Let me show you this. So this truck belongs to Brian Blankenship out of Florida. He brought it all the way up from somewhere around Gainesville. And if you look inside this truck, you'll see that it's got all the same color throughout the entire truck. And I just love this monochromatic look. And this truck is on a 6-inch lift kit with 36-inch tires. So if you come to Supercell and you want to buy a truck, this is a great place to buy a truck. And we just looked at this beautiful white and green truck. Well, here's I guess it's a powder yellow and green option. What year is this one?
79, it looks like.
So what engine do you think this probably has in it? 351?
351 or 400, one of the two. It's a 4-speed, I do know that. Same color as the one that we just looked at over there that's all done up, but this one here could be yours just for sale at Supercell. Yeah.
So, but you can see on this one that you're probably gonna need a quarter panel.
Yep.
And like mine, you know, it's not as rusty, but underneath it needs a bed floor. This is a fixer-upper. Again, turbine wheels, which is, I guess, super period correct, right?
Yep.
Anyway, this could be yours.